you open the app, you just see only one item in the schedule. So you can decide to go and add multiple schedule, praise and worship, intercessory prayer, Bible study, announcement. However, what I would normally do is that I've defined templates. So the clock allows us the timer to define templates. So here we have combined service, first service, second service, third service. So depending on where you're using it in a church like our own, so you have this defined. So when you come on Sunday, you don't need to enter the schedule afresh. Also, this template is editable. So maybe after some time, the vicar decides that, okay, let's start giving Bible study coordinators 30 minutes and then maybe give them 5 minutes if they overshoot their time. So maybe by default, we can do Bible study 40 minutes by default, save it. So what happens when I come on Sunday, I don't need to go and edit this guy to create the schedule. I'll just click on this load templates, load combined service, and everything is already here. Then this is how it works. So the first one by default is already in the output, which is what you will see on the projected monitor, right? This is what you will see on the screen that is facing the altar, this right hand side. So you will see this, just this black area. This is what you will see. So if the once praise and worship starts, you click on start and the timer start counting. So you also need to know that anything you do here can be disruptive. So you should not by mistake or by any means go and click pause or reset. Though I've added a guard here. So if you try to pause it while the timer is counting, you will receive this confirmation. So you really need to be sure. Do you really want to pause the timer? Maybe you click this pause by mistake. So the system at least has a kind of check. Also, when you want to reset it, resetting it means take it back to 10 and stop counting. We are just doing a 10-minute session here. So right now, I don't want to reset, so I'll allow it to count. So from here now, let's say the person that is leading praise and worship, maybe the Holy Spirit told the person to stop, or the person ran out of songs to sing. They don't know what to do anymore. And their session has ended, and then it's now time for intercession. What you need to do is just click on stage, take live, and then new session. You can start the new session. So now we are in intercessory prayer. So that's just basically what this is about. So even though we have loaded this combined service inside here, you can still modify this. Maybe before it's time for Bible study and the vicar says we are running late, let's reduce this guy to 35. You can reduce it to 35. So once it's time for Bible study, you just click on stage, take live, it starts from 35 minutes. Then if it's already live, you can't edit it from here. You have to come here. So you can add any minute, hour. So let's say we want to add 5 minutes to this person. By default, this guy is on 5. So you need to ensure that this plus button is highlighted. Then I'll click apply. So it will ask me, are you sure you want to increase Bible study by 5 minutes? I'll confirm and say yes. So once I have confirmed, it will add 5 minutes to Bible study. So the total session will now be 40. That's 35 plus 5. The same thing if they say, okay, can we reduce Bible study by 2 minutes? So I'll just come here, make sure it's in minus and click to apply. To ask, are you sure you want to reduce Bible study by 2 minutes? I say, okay. So total session for Bible study is now 38 minutes. So that is that. And then the next thing is phone control. So let's say we have one laptop in the church, which means that laptop will probably be running, we're using it for OBS and Easy Worship. And then, so which means the person doing that cannot just be the same person doing the timer and stuff, because right, the person that is doing the timer needs to be paying attention to when as things are progressing, and not when they are starting something, the person will forget to change the timer, right? So this thing has an option of somebody controlling this timer from the phone. So we can actually start it on the same laptop that is we are using for Easy Worship and OBS. Then another person can now control the timer from their phone. So the only thing you have to do, ensure that both the phone and the laptop, they are connected to the same Wi-Fi, right? So then click on phone control, then the person can scan this QR code with their phone. So once they scan this QR code with their phone, so let me go to the phone, so we'll see what it looks like. So once you scan, you are going to see. So let me go back. So let's scan this QR code with our phone. So I'm using my Brave browser. You can use your camera, any both Android and iOS should be able to scan this. So I'll just scan and go to this page. So as you can see now, I am now seeing. Okay, let me go back a bit. So let me go back. So let me scan this again. So you see, this is what it looks like on the phone. So once you are here, click on scan, open your app to scan. So opens the URL. So we are here now. So I can actually be controlling this from my phone. So you can see the session that we are running now is this is we are still in that Bible study. You can see Bible study. So somebody on this phone can actually adjust. So let me adjust the Bible study by, let me add 10 minutes to Bible study. Click apply. Do you want to adjust Bible study by adding 10 minutes? Confirm. So you can see Bible study has been adjusted. So we have, so you can see on the laptop as well, we now have 45, sorry, we have added 5 minutes to the Bible study. So everything you are doing on the laptop, you can also do it on the phone. So look at the phone now. You have the 3 tabs here. So you have the control, you have the schedule. So this is the schedule that we see on our desktop app. So you can see praise and worship, intercession, sermon, and all. So if I want to move to the next session from my phone, I just click on this stage button, and then it tell me, okay, do you want to move to the next session now? Here is sermon, right? So let's say take live. This is a 5-minute session, then I'll click on start. So once I've clicked on start now, if you go back to the desktop or what is showing on the TV, you can see that it is now the session for sermon has started counting. And that's it basically. So then maybe once, let's say after sermon and announcement, our timer is more or less no longer in use. So you can decide to just display the current time. So or if you're on the phone, you can just go to this setting, go to output layout, and change this thing to timer, to clock only. So if you change it to clock only, so you can see now here is 9:42. So this is what will now be showing on the screen. So instead of showing time, because now we are not timing any session, right, in the service. So you can, after announcement, during offering, and or you can just decide to put the current time there, and that is that. So the other thing that you need to pay attention to, this one is very important. So the what you need to pay attention to is on this control, but when you're on this control tab, look at this thing that says projection off. So this thing is telling you that the people in the altar or the monitor, the screen, the clock is not being the timer is not showing on the screen. So that's what this projection off means. So that means the person on the laptop is supposed to go and click on this project button. So this is the final. So if you look at this live output here, you can see one external display detected. So this is my connected this my laptop to external monitor. So you just click on project. So when I click on project, it will show me I only have one monitor, TV or whatever connected to my laptop, so I can just click on this, right? So it will now show what is I selected. So it's just showing this time because I changed the layout to clock only. So let me change it back to change to timer plus progress. Yeah, so once we have started projecting, this is what the people on the stage, so this is what they see. So the people on the stage, this is what they will see, right?